we'll be beginning by asking this pertinent question: how do one discover his or her talent? I think that's where we begin from. And maybe you... Sir, you help begin with that, sir. Then it can also...
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming. We appreciate you. Now, very quickly, like you must have heard when I was being introduced, they spoke of the chaplain, which means I'm a pastor. And so, my counsel will be more from that angle. In other words, it will be more spiritual than physical. I will borrow from some of the things that you have been taught from the lectures by Dr. Julius Adeoye and auntie that just left, Ms. Belos. Now, the truth is there is need for you to know whom you are, so that when you go to God, you'll be sincere. It's God who has created you, and so God knows why He created you. You are created for a purpose. If I use Genesis chapter 1, about 2-3 verses there, it talks of man is created to be in charge of all God's creations. So whether animal, whether anything, we are the ones to be in charge. That's what God expects. But you need to know which aspects of this God's plan do I need, or am I expected to be in charge? What is my own particular assignment here? You have different disciplines when you go to the university. Some people are studying weather, some people are studying animals, some are studying plants, some are studying human beings, and so on. So what am I expected to do? That's how to go about discovering purpose. Then you now go to God in prayers and ask for direction. I've said 2 things mainly. 1, you are unique in yourself, so you need to know yourself. For example, am I a restless person? We have just done some practical now. How do I perceive things? How do I take position on things? The second one is, you have that at the back of your mind in asking God, God, what do you want me to do for you? Because I'm created by you for a purpose. When you go to God in prayers, He will guide you. He can guide you in any way. He can guide you through dreams. He can guide you through the type of courses you are pushed to do and so on. He can guide you. That's why you go to Him in prayers. So for others to contribute, can we just thank God for the Master of Ceremony as I hand over the microphone. Put your hands together, please.
So, does any other person want to contribute to that question before we move on?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Isaac Adaba. I'm a student, so I will speak to you like a student also. In answering that question, I have one basic philosophy in life. My philosophy in life is fun. Whatever I get myself involved with, whatever I get myself involved in, I need to have fun to make sure it is worthwhile. Finding your purpose, finding your talent, finding where exactly you fit in this life, and how to function best. I'll give you examples. Let's consider your superstars, your movie stars, your music stars. Most of them are graduates, most of them are not. Now, you know, some of them actually went to school and had to leave school because of what they want to end up doing in life now. Let's take one popular example. Consider Davido. He's a major superstar. He sings music lots of us enjoy. Now, if he wasn't enjoying what he was doing, he would never have ventured into music. Davido today is a graduate. He has a degree in which I'm not even sure what exactly he graduated with. But music is his passion. Music is where he functions. Music is what gives him joy. Music is what he can do and know it's worthwhile. Now, in doing that, he's making a lot of money today. Davido today is worth about 3.7 billion naira. Has a lot of money. Has lots of the things a lot of us are aspiring to achieve in life. Now, that is what his purpose is. That's what he has found as his talent, and he's making use of it. He's enjoying it, and the benefits are coming, flashing in. You know, there was a joke recently, and they were like, okay, Davido has performed in so much countries already. Where else could he perform? Someone was like, oh, I think the next place Davido has to go perform is heaven and hell. Because he's made impacts in almost every diversity you can count on. Look at religion. Davido goes to church also. It functions. Outside of religion, people call him, celebrities call him, the government calls him and stuff. Now, in finding your purpose, no matter who you are or where you are, what you are right now, irrespective of your gender, your class, your age, there is that thing you seem to enjoy when you get your hands involved in it. There is that thing that when you're on it, you strive, you just keep doing it, you just want to achieve it, irrespective of what the odds are. Now, that is your purpose. You know, someone defined profession and business. As a graduate, when I'm going to be done here, my profession is supposed to function in the medical world as a psychologist. Now, that is what my job will end up being if I go for it. But my business now is going to be what I enjoy doing in life. What I enjoy doing in life is impacting. What I enjoy doing in life is making money. That is what my business will be. My job could be functioning in a hospital as a clinical psychologist, or function in the government or in the legal department as a cognitive psychologist. But what I enjoy is going out. What I enjoy is being on the road. I enjoy traveling all the time. I enjoy making money. I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy meeting new people every day. That is what my business will be all about. And at some point, I will have to leave my job to go to my business because I enjoy my business. My purpose in life is now to make sure my business is driven to the very end. So I'm going to charge you today that whatever it is you find yourself involved in, whatever you enjoy doing, you're in school right now to be able to get a degree at the end of your school life, your academic life. Now, when you're going to be done with that, you now need to charge yourself with whatever it is you enjoy doing. Yeah, you could come out with a very good degree, function in a career that would make a whole lot of sense. You'll be secured, you'll make enough money. But there's still that purpose you still have to find. That thing you enjoy. Lots of us love politics. Lots of us want to make a difference in the country right now. So at the end of your academic life, you need to find that purpose and go out there and drive it to the very end and make sure you're fulfilled and you're happy at the end of your life. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Isaac Adaba. I should quickly add also that I also enjoy making money. So that becomes one of my talents too. All right, thank you so much. One of the questions earlier asked was also, how do I recognize my superior talent? In case I have multiple talents, I'm multi-talented. How do I recognize my superior talent, then push on with that? I begin with Pastor Alakija, then we continue from there.
Thank you very much. Just like it has rightly been explained, that our talents are those endowments that God has given to us to affect humanity. Now, when you now talk about superior talents, it is just to know it means you need to pay attention. Sometimes you need to pay attention to these things that you are able to do with ease as it has been defined. So if, for example, based on what Daddy said, that you can ask God to guide you to know what he has put inside of you, because he's the one who has put it inside of you. So if God reveals it to you, and then let me say that there are many of us that we are multi-talented. So, and where we are multi-talented, there is that superior one. There is that one that should be the lead one, which will give room and expression to others. So that one, we may come to the awareness of it by paying attention to the level. There's going to be a difference in level of ease. There are people who know how to paint and people who know how to sing. Same person. But you find out that there is a lot more of ease in singing than painting. And when he even paints, he doesn't paint as well. I mean, he's not, he sees himself that this is not the best that I can be in this one. But in the other one, he is so sure of himself. He has so much liberty in himself doing it. And so one way to know your superior talent is by paying attention to yourself to see what you do with great ease. The second way of knowing it is by assessment and contributions of other people. People look at you and say, do you know you're actually dancing, but I see that you can do more than dancing. I see some other things in you that you have not even paid attention to. So we can also have the third party, that is the outside world, people who are observing you, your teachers, your friends, your colleagues, can say, I see in you more than a dancer. I see in you, somebody, maybe for example, an acrobat, or what do you call these people that do this Olympic competition? No, gymnastics, So I say, no, you are more than a dancer. I think you actually go for a gymnastic person. So the assessment of others, the views of others may also help you to identify superior talents. So, and like we have said, God is also always there to also help you see that, well, you sing, you do this, but this is not what I've called you to do. I've actually called you to be, a teacher. Even though you use your song to teach, even though you use your song, but majorly the thing in you is that there is a gift in that whatever you do, people will take knowledge from it. So for me, I think we can assess and know our superior talents from these three realms of relationship. We can pay attention to ourselves to see what we do with great ease. We can listen and pay attention to the views and judgment of others. And then God is there always to let us know where we are in doubt, which one should be our most superior talents. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll be standing on existing protocol, and the previous speakers have spoken excellently well. But I want to summarize some of the ways via which you could identify your superior talent. And I'm going to put it in form of a mathematical equation. And the first one is going to be I. The second one is going to be E. The third one is going to be F. And a fourth component is going to be P. Now, what does I stand for? I stands for interest. What are you interested in doing? Then secondly, how easy is it for you to perform those things you are interested in doing? Then the third component, F, is do you have fun? Do you enjoy what you are doing with ease? Then the final component, which is P, what are the prospects in exploring this area of talent? I'll give you a practical example. When I was just like you, I was very good in both the arts and the sciences. I could take literature and dissect all the novels written by Chinua Achebe. I was also very good in government. But I also found out that I was good in mathematics, in chemistry, in physics. So at the time, I had a dilemma. I didn't know where to go to. Am I going to be an art-based student, or am I going to maintain as a science-based student? And that was how I came to a crossroad. But as you are aware, when you get to your senior secondary school, you will be asked to toe a particular line. It's either you toe a science line, or you go to an arts lane, or you can go to a commercial lane. And I looked at it that I enjoy doing all these things, but like our pastor had already said, he said sometimes you need to get evaluation from people that are around you. And I looked at it that if I go into science, these prospects are there for me of touching my immediate environment. And that was how I found myself in science. Thank you very much.
Right, just some additions or some comments to complement what have been said. For me, I think one of the way you can discover your topmost talent could be that, what is that thing that is burning in you that all the time is like talking about interest to that, what you are interested in, and what is that thing that you can forget about time when you are involved in such things? What are those things? So if, for instance, for some who end up being footballers, it could be at their growing stage, they love playing ball, and you see their parents, cautioning them, and even despite they are being punished, you see them going back because that is where their interest is. And no matter what you do to them, such people will always go back to such things. So if you are interested in something and you could forget about time when you are doing it, then that could be the one that is highest in the level of your talent, and you can go for it. And also, like Pastor Alakija said, that you also ask people. I did a course online called personnel management or there, and they are saying that, when we got to a stage, we have to do self-assessment, that you should ask people around you, your colleagues, what are those traits, that make you to be different from others. So if you ask people to, apart from asking God, you could also get answer to your question. But one thing is very needful, that you discover that very thing, that whenever you are involved in it, you can forget about any other thing. You'll be able to discover that talent. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So one thing we can get from all of what have been said now, to discover your talent, to discover your superior talent, you must ask God. People around you can also give you some idea of what it is. It should be something that is fun-filled and so on. Who can tell me that mathematical equation or formula that was given? Okay, I, E, F, P. I stands for what? E stands for what? F stands for what? Then P stands for what? What if what you love doing easily, what you find fun in doing is a thing like sleeping? Can that be your talent? I'll leave that for that clarification. Lastly, before we throw the floor open, sir, how can we differentiate our spiritual gifts from our talents? Someone asked that question. Dr. Ade, you answered it, but we want us to have a brother discussion on that. So let's begin with you, sir.
differentiating between your talent and your spiritual gift. Actually, ordinarily, they might not be very far apart in a sense. In other words, because God is our creator and he created us for a purpose, that thing you call talent is part of the indices, part of the indicators that you have special ability. Let's say is the fine art example given. The teacher can teach you in a fine art class, but if you have talent as an artist, you will deliver more than how you are taught. In other words, the teacher can give you guidelines, but when it's in you, you go beyond it. The same thing to some activities like soccer, football. There are things they can teach you. The coach can teach you. Skill of how to stop a ball, and some things. But how to dribble past people, you are the one who will think of it. So if you have talent about it, you're able to. So what I'm saying is, they are related because each of us, we are made to understand from Bible that we are like three components: body, soul, and spirit. So whether what we are showing in our body is just on its own, or it has some other backings that are hidden, which can be spiritual, there are elements of truth there. That's different from spiritual gift in church now. Talking of, I'm able to do this. Somebody is sick, I put my hand on that person and that person gets well, and so on. Those are called miracles and so on. Signs and wonders. Those are spiritual gifts. But what we're saying is, or what I am saying is, there is a relationship between what you think is talent and what you think is spiritual. Once is gift. Gift is not worked for. Gift can be improved upon. You can hone it. You can improve on the skill. But first of all, there is an innate of it. There is a potential of it in you. But when you are talking to the extreme now, strict spiritual gifts, that's slightly different, and that is what happens in church and such things. I hope I've not confused you. If you understand what I've said, say yes. All right. So please, the two are related. That's my view. But they are not discrete. They are not so far apart. Anything you have as talent, God also gave it. And so you can use it to profit. Like it's been said in the first contribution. You have different things. You are able to do so many things. But then these are probably by talent. When you work on it, you can always be the very best. But which one do you work on? Which one will bring the results that you have in mind? That is what now helps your direction. Thank you.
Yes. The little addition that I am thinking of is that, just like he said, both talent and spiritual gifts come from God. And I think we may find talents, a lot more people benefiting from your talent than the spiritual gift, which finds only special appreciation in the body of Christ. If we understand, if we are not confusing it that spiritual gift is spiritual gift and talent as being the same thing. Once we say we can see talent also as a gift that is from God, and some people can refer to it as God that gave me this ability, and they can consider talent as a spiritual gift. So if you are not making that mistake of saying your talent, seeing it as a spiritual gift. Yes, it is a gift from God. God gave it to you. But nevertheless, there is something in the spiritual balance that is called spiritual gift. And that's one where people find relevance and relationship with it is majorly in the body of Christ. For example, if somebody has the talent of playing football, it's a gifting. Not everybody can play football. Everybody all over the world enjoys this football star when he's playing, when you see him on the field of play. But if you now talk of somebody who has the gift of healing, for example, the application of that gift may be to members of his church who knows him, though it is also to humanity, but you find out that a lot more people may find relationship with talent than as we find in a spiritual gift. But as it is as we have put it, not everybody may have spiritual gifts, but everybody has got one talent or the other. God gives spiritual gifts so that it can bless the body of his church, the body of Christ. Thank you.
Just a few addition also. I support their submission that spiritual gift and talent both are from God. But I want to say that for talent, like it's been said, that everyone benefits. So talent is like an endowment. Even from before you were born, it's there, it's already there. But when it comes to spiritual gifting, if you don't belong to Christ, there's no way you will get that. So there's no talking about the Christendom now. So if you are not born again, if you have not received the gift of the Holy Spirit, there's no how you begin to operate in that realm. So that's one way you can differentiate talent from spiritual gifts. And also for talent, like you said, you can use it, benefits almost everybody. But for spiritual gifting, even though at times outside the church, you can also use it, because we have seen cases where people just go into mall or in a gathering or even at conference, you are talking to somebody and a word of knowledge might come forth from you and addressing one particular issue. So, but it may not be everybody that might be interested in that spiritual gift that you have. And for spiritual, like he said also, for talent, you have to improve and improve on it. And for also spiritual gifts, as you grow in the Lord, as you pray more, as you study the more of God, as you know more of God, you also increase in your level in that realm also. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So I want you to have a little pictorial exercise, to buttress what all the speakers have spoken. So let's have a triangle now. And at the apex of the triangle, you have God. Then at the base of a triangle, a triangle has two bases, on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side. The one on the left is man. The one on the right is man. Okay, so we have God at the apex, then at the base we have man and man. Now, when you are talking about spiritual gifts, there is an interface. There is a line coming from God to man. It can also go from man to God. In other words, God gives spiritual gifts even for the things of God. He gives it to man. Like other speakers have also said, talent and gifts also come from God. So on the right hand side, you also have God giving talent to man. Now, under that base, that talent is meant for an interface between man and man, for the benefit of mankind. So that is a way in which I would like to, paraphrase what most of the speakers have been saying. Thank you very much.
Finally, from Isaac.
To close what my daddies and my mommy have said now, I'll take it this way. When Jesus was leaving, he gave us a closing charge. Go preach the gospel. Basic. That was all to it. Now, then he said, I will send the comforter to you. Your talents now and your spiritual gifts have all been endowed from God to function with. Meaning your talents are the means to the end. The end is preach the gospel to make heaven. Now, in the institution where we are, RCC as a whole, our vision says to make heaven, to take as many people as possible with us, and holiness will be our lifestyle in doing this. Now, you have your charge, you have what you've been instructed to go ahead to do. All that's required is the instrument to achieve it. So we'll take it at this, the physical and the spiritual. God has given you basically everything you need to function. Your talents, like they have said, is embedded in you. It is in it. That's the word. You're born with it. You know, some of us are born and then realize at age 1, age 2, we can play drums. At age 3, age 4, we can sing as beautiful as so many stars we hear of. At age 5, age 6, we believe we can invent almost anything in this world. Now, those are those embedded talents. Those are those innate gifts that has been put in you. Now, something else comes in, which my daddy has said now, it is your skill. You now acquire them. To function with your talent successfully, you now need to drive those skills around you. You need to function with others. You need to be able to use those skills to achieve the common goal you're chasing. That is the spiritual now. For the physical, basically, you want to make life. You want to enjoy everything life has to offer. You need to work. You go through school, you get a degree, you get everything. You can't go back home and sit down with your degree and expect money to come automatically. You need to go out there and get yourself busy. In doing that, you're achieving two common goals now, in the physical and in the spiritual. In the spiritual, you're looking to make heaven and believing that when you get to heaven, you have a mansion waiting for you, meaning you have to win souls from earth. Now, in the physical, you need to be able to enjoy the benefits of life. So when you have a degree, when you're educated, with all the talent you have, you need to work, function, and enjoy all the benefits life has to offer. So it's both the physical and the spiritual. So the gifts for the spiritual have been endowed in you. God has given you basically everything in it. The gifts for his physical also, God has given it to all of you. So all you need to do is work at it. Successfully integrate everything you believe you have. You know this is what you're good with. You successfully integrate it. For the supernatural or for the physical and the spiritual, you know you need to make heaven. You need to take as many people as possible with you. Those of us that could play football, you could go on some kind of outreach where you just call a whole village, let's play football. At the end of the whole deal, you tell them, come, I actually came to preach Christ to you. But I know one thing you love is to play football. So I figured let's do the first thing you love. Let's play football. Now that we're done playing football, I can tell you, if you actually give your life to Christ, you come to church with me, we'll put you in a position where you can keep playing football for as much as you want and you get to make some money on it. Some other benefits could be attractive to it. Look at other aspects of life. You can sing. Fine, come to church. Come sing in church. We'll take you places. You go across the world. You see some of the stars today, the gospel artists. They travel all over the world. They sing. They praise God. That's the talent they have. And they use it effectively to win souls for Christ. So it's both the physical and the spiritual. And you have all the identities you need to function in both. You have them all embedded in you. So make sure you use that and function with it effectively. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's put our hands together for all of our panelists. I don't want them to go until we, the participants here, ask 1, 2, or 3 questions. So if you have a question here for any of our panelists, before they go, I want you to please come forward now. If you have any question for our panelists before they go, I will just allow for 3 to 5 people to come out. After that, nobody will come out after they have asked their questions. All right. So let's say these are the only 2 people coming out. All right.
My name is Onipede Mercy from Zion Baptist High School. My question is that how many gifts or talents is an individual supposed to have?
All right, thank you.
Praise God. Sorry. Already No matter how, we are in the church, so it's still the same. So my question goes, as a person, you have the ability to do the practice. For practice, when you are having, like, if you can, you are imagined to go for engineering department, you know the practice, the practical example, but you did the subject that relates to that particular course, and you are not familiar with it. How can the person go through the question, through the
All right, thank you.
My name is Adepoju Temitokpe from Adventist Government High School. From Adventist High School. My question goes thus: Is there anybody that can distract us from discovering our talent?
My name is Obasa Thompson from Redeemers University Staff School. I want to ask about the challenges we have to face during discovering our talents.
Challenges being faced, okay.
My name is Oluwalogbon from Redeemers University Staff School. I want to ask that if someone has a particular personality like sensing plus thinking, and maybe in the environment he is, people don't actually like the way he behaves, is there any way the person can adapt to another type of personality? That is there any way he can just learn a new personality so that he can adapt to his environment?
My name is Manuel David from Ilori High School. I want to ask how social media affects us positively.
Thank you, thank you. We gave an instruction. Thank you. So let's begin by how social media affect our personal. No, we gave an instruction. It was just grace. All right. We said after asking questions. So those are the lessons you learn. When instructions come out, you learn to let's just give him a try. Next time when an instruction comes out, you just adhere to it.
My name is Ramon Musefi from Makoda Model High School. Is it possible for a person to focus on the two talents?
To focus on two talents. All right. I think we have questions on multiple talents, and so maybe we begin by some of the ones you can relate to.
Maybe I will repeat the question to ascertain if I got it. Somebody asked, how can social media affect us positively? Was that the question? So definitely the social media, even though people say it affects you negatively, you can use it to improve yourself. Like I mentioned while answering question on talent, that there was a time that I was learning, going through a course online. So there are different things, like for students, like I usually encourage my younger ones, that you have the social media with you. It's not for you to just while away your time. You can learn anything whatsoever. Even other skills, like the common trade, you can even learn. Talk of sewing, talk of anything you want to learn. It's there on the social media. So it depends on you. So you can use social media to affect your life positively, physically, and also spiritually. Like at times I work in the office, maybe I'm bored, I can decide to go on YouTube and listen to one worship song or one sermon and all the rest. And there are times I feel, I need to get some information about a particular thing. It's not that my boss in the office is asking me to do that, but I feel that as a person, I should not go into an extent. I should be up to date. So you use that to improve your life. You have, even on social media, you can also learn for your different subjects. There are different lecturers that will teach. You go on EDS, you go on Canvas, you learn anything. Talk of physics, talk of mathematics, talk of anything. It's there for you to learn. So it depends on you. Social media can actually affect you positively, can help you to improve your life. And even before getting out of, maybe graduating, you can even be certified in some programs depending on what your course of study want to be. Then you said, somebody said that how do you adapt to the environment to change your personality? I want to believe you are not asking that to adapt to your environment to change to a negative personality. Because when you say maybe people don't like you, because that was the first statement. If people don't like you in an environment, check. Are you on the right track? If you are on the right track, continue. But if you're on the wrong side, then you can change and see, okay, why are these people, why are they hating me? Why am I not being loved? Then you can see, okay, this is the way they do things and all the rest. In the positive way, then you try to change. Maybe, for instance, people complain about you that you don't know how to greet, that at times you don't even relate with people, you don't have team spirit. Then you begin to look, okay, this is the way they do it. Like some few years ago, I was accused that when they greet me, that some people said I was proud, that I will not answer. And meanwhile, it wasn't that, because I was brought up in a hard way, and I believe for everything, I must attach time. So each time that when I'm going, I just greet you, and I believe that's all. But I found out that in my environment, in my society, that is more than that. It's not the Oyinbo type of society that you still have to wait and still laugh with people and still ask them and all the rest. So one way or the other, even though I've not adjusted fully, I decide to adjust. That's the way of in the positive direction. But if it is in the negative, don't ever do it, because it will cost you your future. Maybe I will give other people.
Yeah, thank you very much. I shall be attempting 2 of your questions, and one of them, the former speaker has spoken extensively on how social media affects us positively. But I'm going to give you 3 specific examples. One of my friends is contesting for politics, and he's using the social media to popularize himself, and he's gaining a lot of followership. So that is one positive aspect. Then secondly, there is a lady who runs a blog named Linda Ikeji. Some few years ago, she went to the American embassy for visa. And they asked her, who are you? She said, I am the most popular blogger in Nigeria. And if you have been to the embassy before, they just brought out their computer and they typed Linda Ikeji. And they saw her Facebook profile, and they saw that she has many millions of followers. Immediately, they issued her the visa. So social media had helped her in that instance. Then not only that, like our sister said, you could also use it to learn techniques. Like if you are in the sciences, you want to do statistical analysis, and you want to learn about Excel, you want to learn about PowerPoint, you can go to YouTube and it can teach you. In fact, I had a particularly sobering experience some years ago when I traveled to India. I went to a laboratory and I was supposed to learn some techniques. But those people there were tricky. They didn't want to teach me. So one day, I said, what is all this? I went to YouTube and I started mastering the technique. The following day, I wore my lab coat and entered the lab. And I started doing the experiment myself. So social media could be of help in these instances. I know other speakers might still throw more light on them. Now, somebody asks, you know practicals, and you don't know the theoretical aspect. Now, I want to categorize people into 3 key categories. So everybody that you see belongs to one of these 3 categories. There are people, they know practical aspect, but they don't know theoretical aspect. There are so many other people, they know the theoretical background of things, but when it comes to being on the bench, You know, when it comes to using their hands, they don't know how to use their hands. And as a teacher, I have quite a number of students who fall into those categories. There are very many students in my class, when I'm supervising them for their project, they are not very good academically. But when it comes to mixing chemicals together, they are very, very good. Now, the best kind of individuals you can ever find in any place are people who can marry the theoretical aspect with the practical aspect. So they know the theory and they can back it up with hands-on techniques and experience. And that is the person you should aspire to be. Now, the person that asked that question, it is possible that you are being overconfident. Okay, I can do it. Then whatever they are talking in class does not matter to me. Now you need to calm down and you need to really, be focused when your teachers are teaching you. And I always tell my students something. I say, if you don't like someone as a teacher, you are not going to do well in that subject. There are no two ways about it. It's not rocket science. If you don't like a teacher, the possibility of you not doing well in that particular course is there. So you need to also know that you need to have a relationship with your teacher and also be interested in what that individual is passing on. Then not only that, you need to be more dedicated to that particular course. So don't give up. Don't be discouraged. So you just need to add more effort. That might mean seeing a student that knows how to or who knows about that course very well. After classes, you go and meet him or her. Say, please, can you explain this aspect of the subject for me? So I will not take too much of your time so that other speakers can speak. But what I'm saying in summary is that it will be good for you to combine theoretical know-how with technical dexterity. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I want to talk about distractions from your talent. A few things can be a distraction from you maximizing your talent. And the first thing is comparing yourself with others. If you are the type that always looks at others most of the time, you say, oh, this person can sing. Why can't I sing like this person? The first thing is that you are likely to have your talent die or undiscovered. Be yourself. While you appreciate others and their talents, focus on your own talent and see how you develop your own talent. Another thing that can hinder somebody from putting his talents to maximum use could be laziness. Laziness. And for many of us, particularly in the times that we are in this generation, this is a generation that wants to enjoy pleasure, that enjoys pleasure more than work. This is a generation that likes to pass exams without reading their books. This is a generation that likes to cheat in an exam. And I hear that even some exams now, you can go on the internet before the exam is written and the answers will be out. And then you can go in and all manner of funny things. So if somebody is lazy, you will not be able to develop your talent. You can try and go to YouTube, go to all the videos that you find on the internet and see how stars are made. All the great footballers that we have, many of them spend hours, even after the normal coaching session. They will get back home. Some of them have small goal posts at the back of their houses in the place where they live, and they will begin to practice free kicks, corner kicks, penalties, be on themselves alone. Some of them can be on it 3 hours, and that's why when they get to the field, the man will just say, just call the Lionel Messi and put the spot kick for him, and then from any angle, he will just kick the ball, and then it will be in the net. It is a result of dedication, hard work. Sleepless nights. Go and check basketballers. They will jump, throw in the ball. He will do it 100 times. And what he wants to do is from 3 meters away, he wants to get the basket. So you cannot be lazy and maximize your talents. Go and check everybody who is successful there with their talents. There are people who put in extra efforts. And then another thing that can distract you from maximizing your talent is when you look down on the talent. Some people will say, I'm just an ordinary goalkeeper. Goalkeepers are not the stars. But we all know that in the last few years, there have been world-class goalkeepers. Some goalkeepers have been the highest paid players on the field. Don't look down on your talent. And then we have several stories. Don't look down on your talent. If it is goalkeeping that you know how to do, be the best goalkeeper. If it is a winger that you find yourself playing, be the best. If it is drawing, improve yourself, develop that talent, and you find out that you get to be the best in whatever you find yourself doing. If it is playing music, develop yourself in the music. That if it is playing instrument, if it is writing songs, if it is writing poems, keep developing yourself. Read people who have written better poems. Study their life. What have they been doing? What have they done with their time? How did they arrive at where they are? And when you learn from the success of others, you yourself, you will be a success and a celebrity. So I've taken two questions together now. I've looked at the distractions from your talent and the challenges from discovering your talents. Thank you very much.
I will briefly run through all the questions, so I've categorized them. 2 questions says, can you? All right. Can we focus on more than one talent? And the other one says, how many talents can we have? As a person, of course, you can have so many talents you could be intrigued by. When Dr. Ibukun was going to come up to speak to you, I was actually intrigued because I took a course yesterday on personality psychology. And on that course, it says there are people who have the ability for openness and the other for conscientiousness. Now, openness says you can actually have ideas, you can be integrative, you can be outward, you can be spoken and all of that. Conscientiousness is you can be goal-oriented, you can build things. Now, we learned from the course yesterday that you can have more than one thing you want to focus on. You can be intrigued by so much. You can want to focus on so many things all at once because they all give you joy. But you should understand that there is always going to be one of them that is going to be dominant. Just like you have your traits. You have a dominant trait compared to your other traits. I'll give myself an example now. Let's take music, for example. I love music. I love to listen to music, and I love to create music. I could play the drums. I could play the drums very well. I can sing beautifully. But I can't do both at the same time, can I? Next thing I figured was, okay, if I can't do both at the same time, let me find something in music that would allow me to do all of it all at once and still feel fulfilled. So I decided to go into music production. In music production, I can get on the drums. In music production, I can sing myself. In music, I can gather all the instrumentalists, we play beautiful music, we enjoy ourselves. Now, in music production, I've covered more than one talent and I'm still enjoying myself. That answers the question of how many talents can you take all together. On the aspect of social media and how it can affect your personality positively. My daddy said politics. Let's go through politics again. In politics, you know, in the government today, the government might say 1,000 things. If you don't go on the TV and actually watch the governor say what he said, you know, 1,000 other people will post other things and you believe every other thing before you hear what the governor himself said. That is one way politicians make it today, and that's another way politicians have their downfalls. Politicians today spend almost 60% of their entire campaign funds on social media. You want to venture into politics, you can actually paste posters all over Nigeria. If you take the state of Osun as a whole now, you can't post posters from one NEPA pole to the next one all over the state. But if you go on social media, you can go through the entire state in one day. True or false? Now, that is one way. Positively. If I want for the government to go down today, because I don't want the government to go down, don't misquote me, we can actually go on social media and rampage. Riot before, you have to actually pick up a placard, start walking under the sun for riots. It doesn't happen anymore that way. If you want to riot today, go on social media, the entire country is going to be behind you. If you have a common goal that they support, that's the use of social media. Let's go to music now. In music, your superstars can actually go everywhere and perform for you to listen. But their music videos are online. You can what? Okay, who has the highest ranking number of views on YouTube today when it comes to musicians? Anyone guess? It's Davido. Davido posted a video, and in under 24 hours, he has the highest number of views that even beats our American superstars. Because we have Nigerians almost in every corner of the world. So everywhere you go, you listen to Davido. I like Davido a lot, that's why I keep using him as my example. Now, social media is one aspect in which they function with. You can be anywhere, at any time, in this world, via social media. And this is very useful. Just as it is useful positively, it's also useful negatively. You have to make a conscious decision as to how you want to use it, how you want to implement it. If you want to impact in this world, there are tools, there are skills. Even the social media we're discussing, people sat down to build them. I'm going to be coming up soon to discuss with you, and I'm going to bring in some examples. I'm going to tell you certain people. WhatsApp now, who knows who built WhatsApp? Who knows who built Facebook? I'm going to mention some of these people and some of what they're integrating today. People sat down and built all those things to be useful, to be impactful. And those guys today are billionaires in dollars. The same way those guys sat down to build those things for us to function with. Some other people sat down and created virus for those things not to function. That is life. The same way those guys sat down and created virus and they are making money from those viruses. Some other people sat down and created antivirus to those same viruses. Everybody is making money. It is impactful. You can choose to be positive or negative. So please, for God's sake, you're in my generation right now. They have their generation. They are above us. But you're in my generation right now. We need to come together and purposefully, consciously decide to impact the world positively. We all want Nigeria to go up, don't we? If you want Nigeria to go up, say yes. So if you want to live in Nigeria, where Nigeria is prosperous, we all need to come together and make sure Nigeria functions for the best for us. Because whatever we'll be leaving behind for our children is going to be our watermark, it's going to be our legacy, which needs to be useful, we need to be impactful. So please and please and please, focus on your talent, use it positively. If it's in social media, if it's in engineering, if it's in whatever discipline you want to go after, make sure it is useful and it is positive. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me just add one or two things. The one lady asked, can you have too many spiritual gifts? No. But it's God that gives it if it's a spiritual gift. And so God is the one who has the prerogative. How many? But there is a principle that works with God. When you are faithful in little, He gives you more responsibilities. So if you know how to use one very well, He adds to it. And so on and so forth. So you can have so many. From God is inexhaustible. But those gifts are not on their own. They are meant to be used, just like talents. Like the last contributor said, so many things. You want to get so many things done, you just deploy it. That thing you have, you make use of it in different ways, and God is happy. Let me also add, because there is a way one guy asked the question, I think I can contribute this way. He says, you have a target, you want to become an engineer. How do you go there? You must, like it's been said earlier on, know whom you are. If, for example, naturally, you are not a friend of science, you need a bit of science. We need a little of everything. A little of everything. So you need a bit of it. But if naturally you are an arts person, you are a creative person, you are more at home doing things on your own, then don't struggle to fit into someone else's shoe. Be the best where you are. God is looking for excellence. That's why He says we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And like one of the lecturers have said, every course, every program can turn out to be a superstar program. There is none that is having extraordinary strengths over another. Once God guides you, you can be anything. The example cited severally by my other contributor there, Isaac, is a musician. But there are others. Someone cited footballer. A Nigerian the other day, was it 2016 or so, did an operation that has never been done anywhere in the world. How? The guy is in US, a medical doctor, examining a pregnant woman, a pregnant lady, discovered the baby inside that woman was having a brain tumor, and put that woman to the lab, to the theater, brought that baby that was still being manufactured in the woman's womb, removed the tumor in that baby's head, took care of that baby, sewed it back, and placed the child back in that mother's womb. That was a world feat. It's never been done. And the president of US had to specially invite him. So what we are saying is, just be the best that you can. You have it in you. Tell your neighbor, you have it in you. Say it with some confidence. Now tell yourself, I have it in me. Let somebody look at you and tell that person, I have it in me. Everyone is blessed by God because we are made in His image to be the very best. Thank you very much.
Finally now.
Praise the Lord. Well, I want to say one more thing, that one of the ways that you could end up discovering your talent or to be what you should be is the type of training that you are exposed to as a child. And that is why, as children to our parents or to whoever is your guardian, you must learn to be patient with them at times and be ready to learn, because it's possible that the training they are allowing you to go through might end up being what will bring you to the limelight in the future. For instance, we all know Serena Williams, and she plays very well. The story is that the father introduced her and the sister to the games, and that's how she took interest in that. Steve Jobs, the owner of Apple, were told that the father introduced at the age of maybe 3 or 4 to electronics. And today, he's a billionaire. So you can't tell. It might be that particular training that somebody is trying to let you go through that will bring you to limelight. So be patient and be ready to learn. Have a teachable spirit, because you don't know what the future might hold for you. Thank you.